0818-222-205. Take a look at the Punch newspaper, Vanguard, Daily Trust, Leadership newspaper, This Day newspaper, Nigerian Tribune. We'll also take a look at the Nation newspaper, Daily Post newspaper, and the Guardian newspaper this morning. The cover page of the Punch newspaper this morning, Tuesday, 11th June 2024, says, smuggled Nigerian petrol floods West African markets. Nigerian petrol floods West African government on Monday raised the alarm, popularly called petrol, following the massive hike in the pump price of the commodity in neighboring countries. It stated that while the average price of petrol in Nigeria was about 701 naira per litre, the average cost of the product in neighboring countries MS smuggling out of Nigeria in the past 2 weeks. There's definitely more to that story. You can find this on the Punch newspaper this morning. Now we'll take a look at NNPC denies in trillion naira and also in business and in 5 months, says the central bank, $1 billion in 5. Now we check out the major news. Naira awaits Tinubu's verdict. Tinubu's verdict. Rotational presidency, 6-year single term. Concerned 7 years. Director testifies against Sirika. 2.7 billion naira fraud. Ex-director testifies against Sirika. Displays on the Punch newspaper. Hong Kong court liquidates Jackson. Also on the Punch newspaper this morning. And now we'll take a look at the Vanguard newspaper. 10th National Assembly and senators drawn from all parts of the country. Assembly 10th Senate, which was inaugurated on June 13th, 2023, will be 1 year on Thursday. A review of the activities of the 109 Senate sponsored between July, the Vanguard newspaper today. In carrying Malawi's Vice President, Access Bank Polaris Unity Fidelity licenses. Central Bank of Nigeria says no plan to revoke Wema Polaris Unity Fidelity licenses, says the CBN. Now as well we see that to 10.9 trillion naira. Banks borrowing from CBN fall 10.6% to 10.9 trillion. You see that as an editorial, national anthem's purpose and practice. On the foreign scene, Trump's pre-sentencing interview Trump's pre-sentencing interview faces prison this week in connection to his criminal conviction on all counts in the recent hush money case against him. In the latest development to come just days after the former business records late last month, it was revealed that Trump was set to meet with a probation officer on Monday. That you'd find on Vanguard. Court did not declare Amewule as PDP Assembly members. Rivers government as PDP members. Point more news. We see 27 suspected internet fraudsters. Protest rocks Ondo over EFCC arrest of groom. 127 suspected fraudsters. Youth in Akure, the Ondo State capital, have protested the arrest of one Financial Crimes Commission EFCC operatives at the weekend. Recall that security personnel raided 2 nightclubs in the metropolis, vehicles, telephones, and link operation. That you'll find on Vanguard newspaper this morning. There is no 1,000 naira for workers. 1,000-hectare rice farm in Bauchi. Jais Bank finances 10,000-hectare rice. We hear that strike and president of regarding minimum wage exactly a week ago over the failure of federal government to comply with its demand. However, the strike was suspended for a week after government pleaded for time to consider the demand. And definitely there's more to this, but it says that while labor reduced its demand to 262,000 of the economic realities. We'd also still see here on the Daily Trust newspaper that due for review. Executive students advised to shun drugs into fraud. Students of the Polytechnic Iresi, Osho State have been advised to shun drugs and internet fraud popular give the charge while integrating and suggest community leaders to end crimes. Would also over RAM. Families, capital of Taraba State, have chosen to purchase foodstuffs instead of rams for aid. The investigations revealed that the rising told Daily Trust that unlike previous years when foodstuffs were affordable, the current high prices have made it difficult for residents to afford both foodstuffs and rams. He emphasized that the primary concern for many low-income earners was to feed their families, which has become increasingly challenging given the soaring cost of living. You find that on Daily Trust this morning. And then we'll take a look at more stories here on Daily Trust. It says that newspaper distributors elect new officials. Newspaper Distributors Association of executive members who will lead the association for the next 3 years. You also find that on Daily Trust. And also in regards to the EFCC arresting a groom and his friends, club owners accused rights abuse during night raids. And these are the stories that would see on Daily Trust. But before I move on to the next, there's a final story here that says, fish out vandals of radio station, Kogi government charges community leaders. Fish out vandals of radio station, compressed natural gas, CNG initiative, it fund G initiative, it fund partners reaffirms commitment to Nigeria. Hele and partners reaffirms commitment. Anti-choice properties, others for Arthur Eze. Can northern Nigeria soar above poverty and underdevelopment? It is a back page written by Leadership News on Leadership newspaper. Also, we see here as well that Niger bandits attack military base in Niger. At least 2 soldiers sustained injury when terrorists attacked a military base and reportedly killed in the gun duel at a military base and reportedly killed in the gun duel that when they launched the attack on ship and Labour's deadlock launched the attack on ship and Labour's deadlock. Second writer says money spent on costs. You see the story are realities and also costs. You see the story are realities and also lawmaker for president, governors in proposed this year's single term, governors in proposed this year's single term for president, governors NUPRC getting more. Again, CBN reassures on safety of banking system. Southwest governors adopt common agenda for region's prosperity. Southwest governors adopt common agenda for region's prosperity. Lastly, Wale Edu advocates for liquidity in power sector. Wale Edu advocates for liquidity in power sector. And that's you find on This Day newspaper. Now online judicial officers. Here is an editorial. This is Distinguished Senator Cow and his human rights. Here on Nigerian Tribune, distinguished out top news. Tinubu sacks Arese as Police Service Commission chairman. And minimum wage while we can't resume suspended strike Tuesday. Lastly, 24 revenue, local 3 trillion naira made. Morning on the cover page says Southwest governors go into massive food production. Because remain PDP nationals. Nigeria conducive to 3 billion naira fraud. EFCC raises team to probe El Rufai. Others alleged 423 billion Rufai. These are stories on the Nation newspaper for today. And also in politics, June 12, Tinubu and Edo APC Guber campaign, why I declined DG new media positions. Mayaki. Edo APC Guber campaign, why I declined DG new media position. Mayaki, a chieftain of the All Progressives, revealed that he is still recovering from a fatal obtain a harmonious work environment. This morning we'll have to go on a very quick break. When we're back here, we'll review the papers, we'll review the stories, the headlines with our in-house. Right back. And yeah, many thanks for staying tuned. Welcome back to Citizen 93.7 FM. I'll be reviewing the papers alongside our in-house analyst, who is also the Chief Operating Officer of Citizen 93.7, and he is...
Good morning to you, Shane. And very good morning to our Super Citizen listeners.
Okay, now to our listeners, our phone lines are very much open. You can call 818-222-2205, 0818-222-2205. As we take the cover page of the Punch newspaper this morning, where it says here that smuggled Nigerian naira per litre that we popularly called petrol, following the massive hike in the pump price of the commodity in neighboring countries. Mr. Salami, please, what is your take on the story?
Well, once again, very good morning to our Super Citizen listeners, and we really appreciate your patronage. We are here because of you. Now to the story, the renewed smuggling of... You see, the greatest enemy of a poor man is a fellow poor man. We've been talking about this of continually the enemy, or in their plain language, which an ordinary man will call petroleum, is called PM. It sells for as much as one. If you smuggle this product out of the country, you will cause artificial scarcity here. Why? That the great question. How do they get porous? Very porous. We call on immigration and the customs too, and all the security agencies to please and please do something about this economic sabotage. And Nigerians too. Let's love this country. We don't have any other country except Nigeria. And unless we fix this country, nobody will come from outside to fix the country for us.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Salami. It's important that...
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Mr. Chibi Kembal. I'm calling from Cape and Guadalajara, Nasarawa.
Good morning.
Thank you. My regard to your guest, Ms. Baba Salami, our guest, who's talking for the interest of this nation about this country. If there is no truth, they cannot get it right. If we do not work hard for this truth out of the country, is it diplomacy? Part of running the business. Go to Cameroon and they do get the money to charter tanker and to charter ship and boats. It's not diplomacy. The riches are oppressing the person.
Banning for calling in. And now we take a look at a very topical story, a very topical issue that we are all currently facing in the country, Nigeria. And it's in relation to the minimum wage. On the Daily Trust newspaper, there's a head to accept 100,000 naira. The This Day newspaper, the cover page also says Labour's deadline for new wage expires today. LCCI calls for flexibility in negotiation. And then it says that the states urge FG to gradually phase out electricity subsidies in power sector. That is on a different scale, pardon me. But then, Mr. Salami, what is your take? What is your perspective to the story of Labour's deadline for new wage expiring?
Yes, we could afford just 62,000. We will not take. That as of today, there are still some states that the notice served the government expires today. Yet know that let them negotiate. Let there be flexibility. But why doing this? We should know what is good and what is right. That has taken our currency in Naira. It's our time the watchdog. As the conscience, our job is to educate government and the organized labor.
Vandals of radio station Kogi government charges community leaders. The Kogi State government has issued a stern directive to stakeholders in Kogi East to collaborate in identifying and apprehending the Kina local government area. Salami, what do you say?
So if it is not theft of broadcast equipment, it is arrest of media men. The attack on journalists and the unwarranted assault on our colleagues is unacceptable. It is good we know that journalists are not the enemies of the people. Rather, they are the friends. They are the watchdog. And they are the pushers, the pen pushers. They inform and they educate. And in some cases, of course, we entertain. But the important thing is that by our constitution, it's a constitutional to the people. But for the journalists, how will you know what is going on? But for the journalists, how will you be educated about the running of the government, knowing fully well that the so-called government is our government? We are the government. And we must take responsibility. We must take collective ownership of the government. It is then and not until then that is center of the activities of government. After all, why it's meaningless. Any government that is what is sought and being called government in the real sense of the word should prioritize the people. The people care of the interests.
For that, as much as you stated that newspaper. But before I take that, the phone lines are very much open to our listener out there. Okay, we do have a call this morning again. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. Again, once again.
Oh, good morning.
I'm CQB Kembani calling from Antonda Karachi, Nasarawa. Please, I want you to please help me to continue to pray with us for that to to lessen this youth of this nation. Some of them don't know the importance of journalism. They don't know the importance of journalists. You know, a government that is journalists, attack journalists, who is to speak for you? These politicians are ready to can do everything inside their pocket and put you inside the house and hide you. It's only journalists. In a country where journalists is not safe, we are not safe. Let's just come out through and understand the job of journalists. Let us give them protest. And the government should please, I cannot be talking. Thank you.
And the story I was going to read earlier is with the headline on the Nation newspaper: Southwest governors go into massive food production, reject Yoruba agitation, OK's state police, and also they make Sanwo-Olu as chair of the...
We need cooperation, no doubt about that. And a good, no unclear terms, said we do not approve of Yoruba agitation in this country. At what point in time did the Yorubas leave the country? We want to be on our own? No! The Yorubas did not at any time meet. Why? They will not enterprise project called Nigeria. The bigger the better. Good that the Southwest governors have come out to say in no unclear terms that they want to embark on massive food production. That the moment you remove, although I do not, in its essence, in itself and by itself, but that we should boost from cocoa production. In the intent then, and until agriculture, the country, we have a abundant source of. Is it not even good that we diversify? Now it's CNG. There are other fuel, fossil oil. That the other people, the money we are getting from crude oil will not continue forever. That is why we should diversify. If we don't do this, we have to embrace agriculture as the money, and our naira able to $1. Let us diversify. Let us. When India under Mahatma Gandhi was in their straits, what was his answer? He go naked. Are they going naked to critical? Let us be innovative. It is then and not until then that we come out of the woods.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Salami. I'm sure our listeners out there, there are two major stories actually. It says here that those you make of that particular story.
This is not a funny matter because it's a religious paradise. There's always an option to anything in life. If you cannot afford a ram, please shun it. If you cannot slaughter ram this year, pray to God that next year you'll be able to do it. But food is important. You have to take care of your children. School fees is there. Health care is there. We should make provision for the basic needs. You are no God's policeman. And God has not told you that those who go are borrowing, they go.
Says protest Ford stars. The protesters stormed major streets in Akure, expressing their displeasure over the anti-graft agency's action. They marched the governor's office in Alabaka to show their grievances and called for the release of those arrested. Briefly, Mr. Salami, what is your take on this?
Well, internet fraud has become something that must not be allowed to spread like wildfire. Well, while the EFCC, they went for
Bachelor's
Eve or clubbing. It is neither here nor there. But the EFCC to have what I call and all this. He who alleges them their innocence until and about this.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Salami. Here we call it a day. Caller, Mr. Chibike Mbani. Thank you very much for calling in to engage in the conversation and also to air your contributions. We'll be back here tomorrow by 7 a.m. to review the papers and also get you up to speed with events and happenings within the country and around the world. Do stay tuned to more conversations here, more talks, more music, and we will make sure to give you the best. So, Mr. Salami, thank you very much, sir.
It's a pleasure having me.